Can you really still get rich slowly in 2025? Or has the game completely changed? If you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering if the old advice of just save, invest, and wait still works in today's world of sky-high housing prices, student debt, and inflation. The truth is, the rules haven't disappeared, but they've definitely shifted. And what used to work in your parents' generation may not cut it anymore. In this video, we're going to break it down. What getting rich slowly really means in today's economy, how long it could actually take, and what everyday people are doing differently to still build wealth over time. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people think that slow wealth building is boring, but there's a hidden advantage in 2025 that actually makes it more powerful than before. Stick with me until the end, because this insight flips the entire narrative on its head. Let's start with the basics. In the US, the average household income is about $74,000 a year, according to the Census Bureau. But the median household net worth is only around $121,000 based on Federal Reserve data. That gap tells us something important. Most families are earning, but very few are actually building long-term wealth. Why? Because expenses like housing, healthcare, and education are eating into savings faster than ever. So, does that mean slow wealth is dead? Not quite. It just means the approach has to adapt. Traditionally, slow wealth came from saving 10 to 15% of your income, investing in index funds, and letting compound interest work its magic. That strategy still works, but it takes patience. For example, if someone invests $500 a month into the S&P 500, which has returned an average of about 10% annually over the last 50 years, they could have over $1 million in about 35 years. That's the classic get rich slowly story. But here's the catch. In 2025, costs of living are higher and markets are more volatile. So the wealthy are combining this with other moves. One of those is owning assets that beat inflation. Real estate, for instance, remains a long-term winner. Even with high mortgage rates, housing in the US has appreciated on average about 5% annually since the 1960s. For younger generations, this means the entry point is harder, but once you're in, the long-term growth is still there. Another piece is skills and side income. According to a bank rate survey, about 39% of US adults now have a side hustle. While not everyone uses that money to invest, those who do can accelerate slow wealth building dramatically. For example, an extra $500 a month invested alongside your main job savings could cut the wealth building timeline by nearly a decade. Now, let's tease the insight I mentioned earlier. Most people think building wealth slowly is about money alone, but in 2025, time and flexibility are just as valuable. Employers, freelancers, and even small business owners are realizing that slow wealth isn't just the million-dollar portfolio, it's the freedom to not stress over every bill. That's a huge mindset shift. So, can you still get rich slowly? Yes, but it looks different now. It's less about chasing one big score and more about stacking habits, consistent investing, owning assets, building skills, and protecting your time. And here's the myth buster. Inflation doesn't kill slow wealth. It actually rewards those who own appreciating assets. Because while the dollar loses value, things like property and stocks tend to grow. The game hasn't disappeared, it's just evolved. And the people who adapt, even slowly, are still winning. Subscribe for more insights like this.